For me personally, I know this might be a little bit controversial, I know, but Marvel has been letting me down in the last 2 years of their films. In my opinion, I have not seen a good, let me stress the word good, not okay, not decent, good Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home. I would even call that a great movie. But outside of that, the Eternals, Black Panther, freaking Doctor Strange, Thor, they have all either been okay or less than that. And where does this film fall in the new phase of Marvel? Welcome to Cine Here, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray, and today I am reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, directed by Peyton Reed, starring Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, and Jonathan Majors. This is the first film in Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We are now back with Ant-Man and the Wasp as they journey down to the quantum realm in Ant-Man's third film. I was so looking forward to seeing Jonathan Majors play Kang the Conqueror, since we did get to see him in the first season of the Marvel TV show Loki that is on Disney+. I was so looking forward to seeing how he would do in a big budget Marvel film like this. Out of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films, I always think Ant-Man should be the one that is the most lighthearted. Ant-Man should be the one that takes the jokey approach, right? That has a lot more characters, that does comic relief. And this film does bring that. MODOK was a joke for the most part, right? And other characters played that role as well. I don't want to get into too many of them, but they have minor roles, but they played the roles of trying to make people laugh. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not the hugest person when it comes to implementing a lot of comedy into my superhero films, but I do understand that these films are also for kids, right? You also want to get the kids involved in the movie. And Disney, since they own Marvel, they do such a good job of making films that are great for not only kids, but adults as well. And Ant-Man tries to toe that line in this particular film. Let me actually dive into the film. So let's start with the plot of the film. The plot of the film is very, and I mean very light. And when I say light, it's not much to it. It's not much going on in the plot department. It's really straightforward. The plot of this film is Ant-Man, the Wasp, and their family getting sucked into the quantum realm. That is the story. That is the story in a nutshell. It's nothing deeper than that. It's nothing to break down. Like, I didn't come on here to tell you how, Ant-Man went into the world to find himself, and he also tried to look for his family. There's none of that. You get no deeper meaning. You really don't even get a lot of character development for most characters in this film. And that's not really a good thing. I wanted to see more character development. We are in the third film, possibly the last film of Ant-Man and the Wasp. In that, I want to see more. I want to see more of a story and less of the comedy. I'm sorry. There's a lot of ups and downs in this film, but the stakes never felt super high. I never felt the tension and the fear that I wanted to get from Kang the Conqueror. Did he seem powerful? Yes. Did he put on a display of his power? Yes. But I never really felt like any of the main characters were in danger. I never felt like I never felt like Kang was going to win. I just never felt like he was going to win. Now, I'm not saying whether he won or he lost. That would be a spoiler. But what I am saying is I never felt like he would win as I was watching this film. Now, Jonathan Majors did a really solid job at being Kang the Conqueror. I think he took on the role and he put his feet in it. He did an amazing job at being Kang the Conqueror. Anytime you're dealing with villains, not only do you want them to kind of be fleshed out, you want them to have a personality, and you don't want it to seem like the cliche, I want to destroy the world kind of villain. We need a little bit more than that in 2023. I would have loved, again, for them to actually flush him out. Flush him out. Like, you cannot make a character like Kang the Conqueror and don't give him the appropriate screen time needed to really flush him out. Loki did a good job of setting it up, And this movie, I thought I could be wrong, was meant to really flush out Kang the Conqueror because he is supposed to be the big baddie going into Phase 5. And they didn't do a good enough job of flushing him out. That's just my personal opinion. The action in this film was it was like the film. It was it wasn't nothing spectacular. The visuals were fine. But again, like, I feel like this movie was just like the end of Phase 4. It was just blah. It fits in with all of the last 5 Marvel films that I've seen. They all are just okay. Like, I don't know what it is about Marvel, but the films are just not blowing me away lately, outside of Spider-Man. Spider-Man was amazing. Outside of that, none of these films have blown me away like the first 4 phases for the most part did. In the end, I kind of miss Michael Pena, I'm not gonna lie. But besides that, I will have to give Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania a 6.3 out of 10. If I was grading this movie as if I was a teacher and giving different grades for like the cinematography, the acting, the visuals, the directing, the story, it's like getting the same paper from the same student for the last 11 plus years. And at this point, the homework that you are getting from the student seems to slowly get worse. And all of the grades, maybe if I would have got this paperwork from another student, I might have gave them slightly more credit for the same work I've been getting from this one student. But it's getting to the point where, like, okay, the visuals, let's go with a B. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the visuals a B. Let's give the acting with Jonathan Majors and Paul Rudd. I think everybody did, for the most part, did a good job. So let's give the acting a B as well, because nobody blew me away, but everybody did well. So let's give the B. Let's give the B. Plot. Okay, let's do the plot. Okay, it was a D. The plot was a D. It didn't fail because it just wasn't horrible, but it didn't do anything to even be average. It didn't do anything to get a C. Right? What else? The directing. I gotta give him a D as well, because this is your 3rd film, and in my opinion, it's getting progressively worse. The Ant-Man films have been getting progressively worse. So I will have to give you a D because I don't feel like you did anything to elevate the Ant-Man and Wasp any higher than what we have seen already. So now what we got? 2 Bs, 2 Ds, and let's give him an incomplete for not giving me more Kang the Conqueror. See, that's where we at with this film. We are at a baseline, probably around the C area, and that's why I gave it what I gave it in the long-winded form. If you enjoyed this review, please make sure that you follow/subscribe so you can get all of the content that I have to offer, because I am not going anywhere. I'm going to continue to give you more. I want to know what you think about this film. I could be wrong. Maybe I've been wrong about a lot of the last Marvel films in the last 2 years. So let me know what you thought about this film and all the other ones at the end of Phase 4 leading into Phase 5. And don't forget, you've seen it here.